Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome to Bramski Vlogs. I'm Matt Bramwell. If you're a regular, great to have you back. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about finding ski season jobs in winter 2020-2021. I'm going to be talking about the ways in which you might be able to find a season job, the where as well in terms of the current geographical locations. I'm going to talk about the types of jobs that are still going at the moment. And also what might increase your chances, amongst other things. So please do bear with me. If you haven't already done so, please make sure you hit the subscribe button to keep up to date with everything that comes along with this channel. If you're passionate about snow sports, this is one of the places to be. So it's great to have you. Let's jump in. And I want to start off by just providing a bit of context and managing some expectations, because about a year ago I did a similar video to this, and it's one of my most successful videos to this day. It still gets quite a lot of engagement, and in the last couple of weeks especially has had a number of comments, and that's kind of prompted me to make this video, because there's been a lot of query, a lot of interest as we get closer to winter about these jobs. People are realizing here in the UK, for one reason or another, that they want to kind of get away basically, and I don't blame them. It's crap here. And I just was thinking myself though about this, because for my own reasons, I'm looking to get out to Austria to try and be out there, and to do that I've got to find work, and it's really hard right now. France, for example, let's just talk about France. They at the moment, there's a lot of the businesses I know, they are offering 0% cancellation fees with full refunds within 24 hours of the holiday, to try and entice people to still be booking, particularly the Brits. They are putting a lot of pressure on their local governments to try and do more diplomatically with travel corridors, but I think that kind of ship has now sailed. It was tried over the summer and it's not really resulted in anything. Austria, there's a lot of growing pressure within that country right now to basically do a mini shutdown for November, so then they can guarantee that they've got a winter, from December onwards. Italy, my knowledge of Italy is very limited, but there is some news that popped up over the weekend. I think there's some glaciers in the Aosta Valley tried to open up on Saturday, Cervinia. And then overnight the government introduced a new round of measures which resulted in them having to shut. And then there were some pictures over the weekend of long lift queues that obviously caught headlines and weren't very nice viewing, but my knowledge of there is limited, so if someone wants to correct me on that, feel free to do so in the comments below. So with all this travel restrictions, as I mentioned in a previous couple of videos, the tourist offices, the countries are focusing on the domestic market, because they're the people in there, they want to bring them to their own mountains, and that's going to be great actually, because the slope's going to be fairly quiet. If you can come from overseas, they want you to, but they're not expecting you, at least for this year. So what that in turn means then is not as many British holidaymakers and not as much British ski jobs, sadly. But don't let that deter you. If you are for one reason or another committed to going out there, I hope what I can explain to you now might help. So, two ways which are going to really help you. The main one is Facebook groups right now, because this is the opportunity where employees, potential employees, and an employer meet. And some of the groups I've joined, for example, Global Season Air Network with over 12,000 members. There's another one you could join, Ski Bar Jobs Winter 2020-21. That's got about 3,000 members, so if you like to do bar jobs. The other thing is, if you know where you want to work, let's say for example St. Anton, well then you just type in St. Anton Season Airs Group 2020-2021 and you find it, and you just go in there and you introduce yourself on all of those groups. You introduce yourself, you put a paragraph, and you will find a lot of this. That is pretty 9 out of 10 of the posts will be that, and then that other one will be a recruiter. And you have got to sort of really follow these groups a lot to be able to pounce on those as soon as possible. So the other thing, the one which I think is going to give you maybe the best chance right now, and it's something you're going to have to sort of maybe put into a plan of action in the next few weeks, is to go and hustle. to wing it, basically, to go out there and fling your CV in every little cafe, restaurant, ski tech shop. I think that's the only way maybe you're going to find things now, because you've not got operators doing their usual recruitment drive through the summer. There's not tons of jobs actually on websites. Now, if you want more help, you want to know where there's actual jobs. So in France right now, Alpe d'Huez, Les des Alpes, Val d'Isère, places like that are still looking for jobs from what I've seen. In Austria, I mentioned St. Anton. That's about the only place right now that I've seen where there are some jobs going. Italy, I'm afraid I don't know anything about that situation. They were hit hard, the most hardest, actually, from last season's early closure. And I really don't know a lot about the job situation there. Again, if someone knows more about Italy, it would be great to sort of see your comments below and hear your insight. So the types of jobs. If you're a chef, you're a couple that are willing to be chalet hosts. If you're nannies or cleaners willing to do these type of jobs, I think those are most likely where you might actually find a job right now. But the normal ones, the really huge popular ones, such as bar workers, reps, drivers, there's not a lot of them going. And I should have mentioned this earlier. I know I've already done in previous videos. Austria's not having any après this year. There'll be restrictions likely in the French resorts over the sort of the après scene anyway. So it's not going to be like a typical season, you know, with dancing on tables and shots and, you know, people in sweaty ski gear until 3 in the morning. It won't be like that due to everything around COVID. Obviously, they'll be trying to minimise as much contact time as well. So a lot of, you know, if it's customer service type stuff, a lot of it might just be done off the end of a phone. Anyway, adding on to that, if you're wondering some of the things that are going to increase your chances, if you can travel out there, if you're able to get a flight, a train, or drive yourself, then that's going to be a big help because of all these limitations right now. Some people, it's just not possible, and obviously there's the thing around having to self-isolate that has deterred a lot of holidaymakers, and it might result in the same if you're looking to, you know, have to go out there for work. It just might not be possible. It might not even be possible to get in based on where you actually are in the world right now. If you have previous experience working in tourism, travel, you've done a season somewhere else within the world, then you actually stand a pretty good chance of being more employable, because what I suspect recruiters will want is to be able to deliver as high a standard of customer service as possible this year, as high a standard of an experience for its guests. And if you've had experience working in multiple jobs in different other seasons and everything like that, then good for you. You might, you know, it's something to be positive about. So the other thing that is going to maybe help you out is if you speak a foreign language. Particularly German and Dutch. I've seen a lot of jobs, not necessarily ski season type jobs, but jobs within ski areas going, and they are looking for people who can speak a language. French obviously will always help you, whether it's in France or in Switzerland. So those things might help. The final thing I just want to say is because, and this is something I've noticed having looked through a lot of these social media groups and looking at jobs, as I've seen a couple of people start to offer work for free, basically, in exchange for accommodation and lift passes and everything. And I just want to say right now, do not offer to work for free. Depending on the country, it's usually legally binding that a lot of companies have to be able to sort of provide accommodation as part of it, as part of the arrangement. But by you offering to work for free, you're demeaning the value of the role that you're going to do, which frankly ski season workers don't get paid enough. Season workers as a whole do not get paid enough anyway for the amount of hours, the services, the sacrifices they have to make, going away from families, missing birthdays, events, and the livelihood to go off and do this work. So yeah, don't do that. I know it's tough right now, And I know that, you know, being out in the mountains for 4 or 5 months is great, but you know, you need to be able to afford to live out there, and to do that you should be able to guarantee at least a sort of a reasonable you know, pay packet. So I hope this has been beneficial. If anybody has any queries, please feel free to put in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you guys about how you found things in the last couple of weeks, if you have been looking for jobs. If there's anything you're uncertain of, any questions, just stick them in there below. Feel free to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and if you haven't already done so, make sure to subscribe. It's been great to have you guys watching. Thank you very much. Look after yourselves wherever you are, and I will see you soon.